Hello friends, welcome to my little corner of YouTube. If you follow me on Instagram, I recently posted a poll and today I'm going to be making a video on the one that got the most interest, which was 3 tips that I would give to anyone who is trying to embark on their fitness journey. Now please keep in mind that a fitness journey can mean different things for different people. What it means to be fit for one person can be totally different for another person, and obviously many of us are starting at different points, so I'm going to keep it general enough to apply to anyone. These tips that I'm going to give you aren't going to be in any exact order. It's not like the most important to the least important. I think they're all equally as important, and I want to emphasize each of them just as much. So don't just listen to the first tip and think that's it, like that's all I need to know. I think that you should take all 3 of these into consideration regardless of what your fitness goals are, whether you intend to just lose weight, lose fat, or if you want to gain muscle or tone up, whatever your fitness goals are, because these are all things that I wish I had known and things that I wish somebody had told me. First one that I want to say is to please do not depend on the scale as an indication of your progress or of how hard your work is paying off. Basically, do not let the scale define how you feel about your fitness journey. There's so many reasons why the scale is not an accurate reflection of whether or not you're progressing, and I am the guiltiest of this mistake. Like, I was way too obsessed with how many pounds I was losing instead of finding other ways to measure my progress. And I think I've talked about this in one of my other videos before, but I really can't emphasize this enough. The number on the scale is not everything. I don't care if your goal is to gain weight or lose weight or whatever, if it's as simple as that. Like, please just do not rely on the scale. Even if your goal is to lose fat and you just want to be smaller overall, your weight is not the way to measure that. I highly recommend doing other things to keep track of your progress, like taking pictures, taking measurements, and if you're gonna take before pictures, please take accurate pictures. That's another thing that I messed up on really badly, and I really wish that I could change now, because I was obviously, when I started this fitness journey, I was even more insecure. Like, I was not wanting to see myself in pictures, especially like in a bra and panties. I did not want to see that for what it really was. So even when I took my before pictures, like my progress pictures, they weren't very accurate. Like, I was still kind of sucking it in or like getting the best angles, which I really shouldn't have done. And that was not the smartest thing I've done, because now looking back, it's hard for me to compare and see my actual progress, because I don't have accurate pictures. Like, they're not very good representations of what my body used to look like, because I was just too worried about what other people would think if I posted them eventually, and I should have just taken them accurately for myself so that I can really see the progress that I've made. That way I could show myself for those times where I really don't feel the progress. Sometimes you just need a visual reminder. Yeah, your pictures are going to tell a lot more than the scale ever will, and so are body measurements. I personally wish I would have taken body measurements and kept track of my progress that way, but yeah, please do yourself a favor. Do not rely on the scale. There are so many reasons that your weight can fluctuate, especially women with your menstrual cycle. All of those different factors that play a role in your weight are going to mess with your head, and I just really hope that you do not rely on it the way that I did and the way that a lot of other people mistakenly do. Another thing, like another sub tip within that, if you can, this is something that I barely recently did and I really wish I would have done a long time ago, but go get an in-body scan done. This will tell you the amount of body fat that you have, so your body fat percentage, the amount of lean muscle mass that you have, how much water weight you're carrying. A significant portion of our bodies are supposed to be water, so there's nothing wrong with that. You can do that monthly, every couple months, and track your progress that way as well. So tip number 2, and of course just as important as the first one, is to please do not overwhelm yourself. This is another mistake that I made, and obviously all of these pieces of advice are coming from personal experience, trial and error. Of course, that's what my whole YouTube channel is about, is sharing my experiences with you and hoping that you take everything that I say with a grain of salt and figure out how to apply it to your situation, so that you can avoid any mistakes or trouble that I ran into along my journey. Number 2, is to please embark on your fitness journey in a sustainable, realistic way. Like, do not overwhelm yourself. Don't take things to an extreme right away, like right off the bat. I know you might be really, really motivated to begin with, and you might have all the intentions in the world of giving it your all and like going ham and doing all these great things and accomplishing all your goals, and that's amazing. I'm glad that you feel that way because I feel that way most of the time. But please just understand what it's going to take out of you to change your lifestyle if you're really serious about it. Let me just put it this way. Let me give you realistic examples of what I'm saying so that you can actually apply it to your life and to your decision to embark on a fitness journey. I don't want this to be too general where it's like, what do you even mean by that? Let's say you were like me when I was first starting to try to lose weight and get healthier overall. I was eating out at least once a day. I was eating out every single day. I was snacking on whatever I wanted and eating whatever, whenever, however much I wanted, like crazy portions. I was not working out whatsoever. So like, imagine somebody going from that to telling yourself like, okay, I'm not gonna eat out anymore. I'm gonna cut this, and this out of my diet. I'm gonna exercise like 5 to 6 times a week, and like just setting yourself up for failure by telling yourself that you're gonna do way too many things than is really attainable for you. I'm not saying that you can't do it. By all means, if you can go from this extreme to that extreme overnight just because you decide to or because you told yourself you were going to, then by all means do it. Like, hats off to you. But please plan this out in a realistic way and give yourself room to make those changes become healthy, realistic daily habits that you have. I hope this is making sense. Try to find small changes that you can make that will eventually add up and make a difference. For example, let's say you drink way too many sugary beverages. You drink soda, you drink juice, really sugary coffees, whatever. If you can make it a habit to decrease the amount of times that you do that, like your frequency of drinking those kinds of things, or cut that out altogether, that is a positive step in the right direction, and it's a small manageable change, right? Versus saying you're gonna cut out all processed foods, or like, does that make sense? Like, now you can cut out soda and other food groups but still give yourself some flexibility initially, because you also don't want to overwhelm yourself or cut off any foods entirely where you feel like, okay, I can't do this. This is not realistic. This is not something I can do long term or sustainably. Like, this is not a healthy, balanced diet that I can sustain. And then you go back to just eating crap and starting from square one. So please just be honest with yourself. Once you've managed to make those changes and you've done it consistently, you feel like you're ready for more of a challenge, then go ahead and do that. Big extremes too fast, and we're scaring ourselves out of the idea. And I genuinely think that the reason a lot of people fail on their diets or their missions to like lose weight or gain weight, whatever it is because they do too much. They don't know how to find that healthy balance. They don't know how to make those small changes or sacrifices that can turn into healthy habits that can add up and still give you results. For example, like swapping certain foods for more healthy alternatives on a regular basis. Those small things can still add up. If you're starting out at a point where you don't work out at all, you're not eating well, your eating is kind of out of control, or there's no structure or positive like balance to it at all, then simply by, let's say, incorporating exercise a few times a week, not 5, 6, 7 days a week, but 2, 3, 4 days a week, that's still going to have a really beneficial impact on you. It's still going to be a positive change forward, baby steps forward. That's what I preach all the time, like to my friends, or I don't have friends. That's what I preach to myself, to family members, my siblings, whoever. Like, please just do it in a way that you're gonna stick to it, and not something that you're gonna fall off and like relapse back into your old ways. I hope this makes sense. All right, the third tip that I have for you. If anything, I hope you take this one with you. If at first you do not succeed, if you mess up, if you're doing so well and then you relapse, and let's say over the weekend you eat a bunch of crap, you don't work out, and you're feeling defeated because you gave in, whatever. If you feel like you fell off and you're beating yourself up about it, stop. It's okay to feel that guilt or whatever, I guess, because let me tell you, I do. The times that I know I'm messing up and I recognize it, I don't give up altogether. I don't tell myself that all is lost and everything just went to waste because I ate out over the weekend or I didn't work out 1 or 2 days. No, I feel like crap. I'll admit that. And I soak that in. But I don't let that be the reason that I give up. Look at that as a signal from your body and your mind as the reason that you need to get back on track. So tip number 3 is that if you mess up, it's okay. Like, pick yourself up and keep going. I want to cuss so much when I'm making these videos because that's just who I am. I have a sailor's mouth. Like, I don't know, that's just part of my vocabulary. I cuss a lot, and it's really hard for me to have like a genuine conversation with myself here and trying to be honest and open with you during these videos because I can't really cuss the way I want to. Like, sitting here like I'm talking to a friend, and the way that I want to get this message across, it requires curse words, but I can't use them. So please understand, I can't emphasize this enough. It's okay if you mess up. It's okay if you fall off. It's okay if you have a bad day or 2 or 3 or 4. It's okay if you have a bad week. Please don't let that be the reason that you stop completely, because the longer you let it go on, the harder it is going to be to get yourself back on track, to get back up and start going again. So honestly, the way that I have been consistently progressing, not only just maintaining like my weight loss results and all that, but continuously making positive movement forward, is that every time I mess up, I don't let myself get that far back off track. I'll have a bad meal or 2, I'll have a bad day or 2, but I won't have an entire bad week. I won't let it go that far where I'm like significantly falling off. Does that make sense? It's okay to mess up here and there, to have off days. But what's not okay is when you let those become your new normal. That is the worst thing you could do. That's the worst thing I imagine I could do right now. I have to remind myself that, I didn't put in all that work for me to just let it all go to waste because I want to go back to being lazy and go back to my old ways of eating whatever the hell I want. I always remind myself how crappy I feel when I do that. So to summarize really quickly, please start with baby steps. Please make it manageable, sustainable, and realistic for yourself. Also, please make sure that you're keeping track of your progress in an accurate and reliable way, preferably by taking pictures, doing measurements, an in-body scan or whatever. Just don't rely on the scale, and always pick back up where you left off. Don't let yourself fall back into your old ways so much so that it's hard to get out again. Thank you guys so much for watching this video today. I really hope you got at least one positive, helpful thing out of it. You guys take care and be safe. See you in the next video.